Hello lovely, it's Denise here from luckybitch.com, and today we're talking about if you should have mates rates for your products and services. Now, this can be a little bit awkward, and you might find that at the start of your business, and especially when you start to become a little bit successful, you'll have your friends and family go, hey, can you just proofread this for me? Or I'd love to pick your brain about marketing. Or hey, can you just whack up a website for me? And it can be kind of a potentially awkward situation here, but don't worry, I've got lots of tips and tricks for you about how to change your mindset and how to powerfully decide if you should charge mates rates for your friends and family. So keep on watching. I think we've all been there, especially at the start of our business, but really at any time when your friends and family think, hey, well, it's just really easy, or it doesn't cost you anything, especially if you're in a service business. It doesn't cost you anything to help me, so can you please help me? And sometimes they're asking for mates rates, but quite often they're just kind of asking you to do it for free, or they might be doing kind of a bit of a barter arrangement where it's not really that good a deal for you at all. So what is my take on this? Do I think you should, do it sometimes, never do it, whatever? You know what? It's totally okay to charge your friends and family full rate. It's totally okay to charge them a mates rate, and it's totally okay to do things for free if you want to. I really don't have a black or white policy around this. It's more about how it makes you feel. Some of your friends would be amazing clients, and some of them would really respect you. Some of them would probably insist on paying your full rate, or if they are getting a discount, would be really appreciative and would pay their stuff on time and be a dream to work with. And that is the best case scenario. And I have definitely helped friends and family, in different scenarios, and some of them have been better than others. So that is the best case scenario, that it just works out perfectly. You respect each other as professionals, and it's great. And I do have some of those things in my life. I've got friends who I go to for their products and services, and I've got friends who join my boot camp, and it's totally, totally cool. On the other side of it, and you might have experienced this as well, you might have tried to be really generous because you want them to succeed. Maybe it's someone who has seen you be successful in business, and they're like, well, hey, I would like some of this entrepreneurial lark. They'll help me out. But they are the worst clients in the history of the world. So they don't respect your time and energy. They expect you to over-deliver, sometimes to the detriment of your fully paid client work. They're people who don't necessarily get things to you on time and generally make it a really horrible experience. Now, if that is you and that has happened to you in the past, feel free to say to those people that you won't be working with them ever again. You don't have to say it in those words of like, gosh, you're a pain in the butt. But you can say things like, you know what, I really don't think I'm the best person for this job anymore. And you can recommend them to someone, maybe someone that you hate. No. But you know what? They might not act like that with somebody else if there was an exchange of money taking place, or if it was somebody that they didn't know. They might not necessarily be a pain in the butt client. They're just kind of taking advantage of you. You can also say to them, you know what? I'm booked out for the next, 3 to 6 months with paid client work, so I'm not going to be able to help you this time. Sorry about that. Another option is to say, hey, look, when I started my business, this is what I did, and point them to the books, resources, etc. that you used at the time. Now, if they're not willing to do that, to be honest, they're probably not going to be successful in business, because you remember what it's like at the start of your business when you had to hustle, you had to get past resistance, you had to learn things for yourself, and that is part of a rite of passage of being an entrepreneur. And if they can't get past those little hurdles at the start, then they're probably not going to be continually successful in business. So feel free to say to them, hey, this is a book I read that taught me about this. This is the website that I learned about to build my own website. Here is a course that I did to learn about that, and just send them the links. Send them affiliate links too if you want, so you get a kickback. But it's okay to point them in the direction. It doesn't mean you have to do everything for them. It's that whole philosophy of, give a man a fish and he'll eat for a day. Teach a man to fish and he'll eat for the rest of his life. And that is one of the truths of being an entrepreneur or being successful in anything, is that you really have to have those inner skills to do it. And if you're trying to do everything for your friends and family and help them shortcut their success, they might not have the stamina to be successful long-term in business. So that is for the real pain in the butt people who, just want to suck your time and energy but won't necessarily do anything about it anyway. So there are your options. You can just say, no, I'm booked out with client work. I'm not the best person for the job. Or, you know what? Here's another option too. Yeah, I'm happy to do that for you. Here are my rates that I charge my clients. And then if they come back and say, no, that's too expensive, then you can go to the other thing. Well, yeah, I'm booked out. Or here's somebody else that I recommend. Or here's how to freaking learn it, how to do it yourself. Now, I want to hear from you in the comments on this. Do you think I'm being really harsh on this? Because some people just think, they've got a duty to help their friends and family no matter what. And even if they're pains in the butts and they wouldn't dream of charging their friends and family as clients. Tell me if you think I'm being harsh on that. I want to just hear it from another perspective as well. I think when there isn't an exchange of money, and make sure you watch my bartering video as well on this, we'll link that. When there isn't an exchange of money happening for stuff, it's just a messy arrangement. And everyone deserves to be on the receiving end of feeling like a valued client. And you might think, yes, I'll totally over-deliver for my friends and family. But of course, you might be robbing them that experience of being treated like a valued customer and paying and receiving something in return, which I think that's kind of a cool thing to do, right? And I've been on the receiving end of mates' rates because I felt almost like I couldn't insult them by going somewhere else. So, you can also say to your friends and family, I'm not going to be insulted if you don't want to work with me. Don't feel like you have to work with me. I've got someone else I can recommend. And so then they can have the experience of being an actual customer, an actual client. And especially if your work is in the kind of business or life coaching arena, give them that experience of being a client with somebody who doesn't have that relationship for them. So that's kind of another perspective where it really actually serves them to not necessarily work with you. Now, I've actually got a free ebook that might help you. We talk about some scripts of what to say when a friend and family asks you to work with them. But also there's about 30 other different scripts of other potentially awkward situations, like what to say to a client who's late with their payment, what to say to somebody who asks you for a discount, what to say to people who ask you to speak for free. So there's lots of scripts in that, and you can get that at luckybitch.com/awkward. Or there is a link below if you are reading the transcript. Make sure you download that today. It could come really in handy with any potentially awkward money conversations that you need to have in your business. And make sure if you're new to my work, come over to luckybitch.com. I've got lots of free resources for you so you can take your business to the next level and you can create a first-class life. It's your time and you're ready for the next step. Bye. Hey, gorgeous Lucky Bee, it's great to see you here. Thanks for watching my video, and don't worry, I've got more good stuff for you. Are you confused about what to charge for your products and services? Maybe you're stuck doing work for free, or worse, you've outgrown some of your clients, but you have no idea how to increase your prices. Now, I've just created a brand new pricing workshop. Just head over to luckybitch.com/pricing, and it's perfectly designed for female entrepreneurs like you who are ready to take your business to the next level. Now, honestly, it's a total minefield when you have your own business. Nobody can set your prices for you, and sometimes you get blocked. So not to mention all of those mindset stuff that comes when you're trying to charge for what you do. Now, don't worry, I'm here to help. Just enter your details at luckybitch.com/pricing and you'll get immediate access to this free pricing workshop. As always, I promise fun and easy steps that you can put into practice starting today. This can totally be your best month ever in business, and sorting out your new pricing is a great place to start. See you there at luckybitch.com/pricing.